Hey everyone, it's Diego, which means it's Tuesday, because I'm your Tuesday host. And this week's topic is sexuality. Um, to start, for me personally, I do identify as a straight male. I primarily am attracted to women and primarily date women. I've only really dated women. Um, and I find myself attracted to men. However, I'm not currently sexually attracted to men, or at least I haven't met any men um, at this time in my life that I am sexually attracted to. But I am open to it. But with that being said, I'll talk a little bit more about my views on sexuality within the transgender community. I firmly do believe that sexuality is fluid as well as gender, and I think that it can kind of be on a spectrum, or you can find more attraction one way or the other, and I have no issues with anybody who identifies in any sort of way. Um, I do think though that your sexuality isn't something that really changes a whole lot. And I'll explain myself on that. Because I do notice a lot of I'm gonna say mostly F to M's because I don't really follow the M to F community that much. I probably should more, but I just currently don't. But a lot of the guys in the F to M community, like I'll see people say that when they started transition or they transitioned, that their sexuality changed completely. Like they were attracted to women before or dated women before, and now they date men, or vice versa. And I personally, this is my opinion, and I don't mean it in any offense. I personally don't think that those people's sexuality changed. I think that they always kind of felt that way, or always had those attractions. Just either they were suppressed, they were unaware of them, and you don't necessarily do that kind of stuff consciously or purposely. But if you're not really secure with yourself and you're not confident, then those types of things, are going to be affected. And like I just told you guys, like I identify as a straight male. I primarily date women, but I am open to men. If I started dating a guy, I would probably at that point identify myself as queer, but my sexuality itself hasn't changed. My attraction, I was always attracted to guys. I just wasn't necessarily sexually attracted to guys, but if I found a guy that I was, like, my sexuality hasn't changed. It's still the same. But the only thing that's changed at that point is just how I identify my sexuality. Um, I think that, as you become more just aware of your feelings and more confident in yourself, and when you become a very secure person and you can explore those feelings, I think that people who find that their sexuality changed, I think that what they're really finding is that now they're really comfortable with themselves and they can like really deep down and like think about some other feelings that they've had and realize, oh, you know what? This is who I'm attracted to. Or maybe I am still attracted to both, but I've realized that I'm more attracted to men than I am to women. Um, I personally, like I don't really feel that I'm gonna find myself any more attracted to men the further along go on my transition. I think that the possibility of me finding a man that I am attracted to in that way increases, but that's just because I get older and you meet more people. But my sexuality itself isn't really changing. And, that could just be for me personally. And again, like I said, that's my opinion. But I don't really care how you identify. You can date whoever you want. As long as you're an awesome person, then, like, I'm awesome with you as well. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of my little just take on it, I guess. Um, I am awfully proud of the trans people who come out as trans and then still identify as a homosexual. So F to M's that date men and M to F's that date women, because I think that that takes even more strength. Personally, transitioning is hard, and anyone who identified with the LGBT community even pre-transition, who was either gay, lesbian, or bisexual, you know how hard that is. So then to transition and still be a part of that community, you know, like I have a lot of respect for people that do that, and that shows a lot of self-confidence and a lot of, you know, security with yourself, and I think that that's awesome. But yeah, I'm currently single, so my sexuality doesn't really matter at the moment. I'm married to my work. Is that a sexuality? Could you just be like, I'm just attracted to and married to my work? I don't sleep with it or anything because I don't know how to. That would be weird. But I'm just kidding. Not about being single, but about marrying my job. I don't like my job that much. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and see you next Tuesday.